in all the softwares, regardless of which software you want to go for, platform, jackup, they are actually like a frame sitting on the ocean. You find out what is the water depth. You find out what is the air gap, which is the distance between the blue part and the rotary table, or the kind of air cushion. Okay, it's a small number usually. Water depth could be any number. It could be 60 meter, 100 meter. And then you apply that information about the rig. If you don't have the rig, if you are just planning a well, you don't have any information, nothing to worry. You can actually leave the air gap to whatever, 0, and make sure you have MSL, you have some reference point. You don't need to have air gaps. You can actually design the well from the mud line. You can have it, you can design the well from the mud line. You can design the well from mean sea level if you don't have the rig, because the rig actually changes the air gap. If you have a big rig, big air gap. A small rig, maybe you have a smaller air gap. You don't know that. So you can actually design the offshore well from the mud line, because the water depth usually stays the same, and then add it on the top of it. When the rig arrives, you know the rig now, you can start to increase the top end of your profile and trajectory. Very simple. People do it all the time, by the way. Subsea well, floating wells that has got no connection between the floating part and the mud line. The mud line is sitting far away. The BOPs and everything is on the mud line. Totally different ball game. They are deep water. Okay, they are very, very expensive. Everything is expensive. The daily running cost of a jackup rig is around $500,000 per day with all the services they are drilling with. The subsea well, it could be 1.5 million, 1.2 million for every day. If somebody messes up and do the mistakes and they have to do some repairs or fixing, huge amount of monies. That's why people get run off from the jobs if they do mistakes. They are very expensive thing for the vendors. They get rid of people right there at that point. If somebody is not doing their job right or something keep failing, it's very expensive, the first two. On the land rig, onshore is very popular. It's a little bit crooked as well. You can see you need to remember the ground elevation. Instead of having water depth, you have ground elevation. You need to add that ground elevation on the top of these, and calibushing, which is where you are drilling from. You know, it will be the rig floor, it could be the drill floor. Okay. So you need to add that into the empty slots. And remember the picture. All these pictures, they should be filled in the way you see it. It should make sense to you. When you have applied it, you should be able to see this just like that. Don't just run away from this one, because this is the one that should make sense. If something goes wrong, people take a picture of what you have done here. By taking this picture, they know if you have done it right. So you should take your time. The air gap should be a small number, and water depth should go here, which is the mudline depth. What it is saying is mudline depth is this, and then you have an air gap sitting on the top, and you're measuring from it. You're measuring from the summation of it, which is 335 in this case. Okay.